The night of October 31, 2000, was dark and stormy in Taipei, Taiwan. Heavy rain lashed the runway, strong winds howled through the airport, and visibility was dangerously low. That same night, Singapore Airlines Flight SQ006, a Boeing 747-400, was scheduled to take off for Los Angeles. On board were 179 people, families, business travelers, vacationers, and crew, all expecting a routine flight across the Pacific. In the cockpit sat Captain Fung Chi Kong, a seasoned pilot with over 11,000 flight hours, along with First Officer Latif Kirano and Relief Pilot Hung Cha. Despite the bad weather, there was no immediate sign of danger. The crew performed the usual pre-flight checks, and clearance was given for takeoff from runway 05R. However, the airport had three parallel runways, 05L, 05C, and 05R. That night, runway 05L was closed for maintenance due to ongoing construction, but its lights were still on, and it appeared active, whether it was the pouring rain, poor visibility, or confusion caused by signage and lighting. The pilots mistakenly taxied the massive jet onto the wrong runway 05L, the one under construction. With engines roaring, the Boeing 747 lined up on the closed runway. The pilots believed they were on 05R and began the takeoff roll. Moments later, they were speeding down the runway at full thrust, unaware that construction equipment, barriers, and machinery lay directly ahead. In the space of seconds, a fatal mistake was about to unfold, and there would be no going back. As Flight 006 accelerated down the runway, it reached takeoff speed about 150 knots. Suddenly, through the pouring rain and the dimly lit surroundings, the captain spotted something on the runway. But it was too late. The massive aircraft slammed into construction barriers, tearing through excavators, concrete blocks, and other equipment. The right landing gear was ripped apart. The right engine exploded. Flames burst from the fuselage. The force of the impact caused the aircraft to veer violently to the right, and it broke into three large sections. Inside, passengers were jolted from their seats. Oxygen masks dropped. The lights flickered. Smoke filled the cabin. Screams of fear and pain echoed through the dark, smoke-filled cabin. Many passengers were asleep when the impact happened and woke up to a nightmare. Fuel spilled. Fire spread quickly. The aircraft became a burning inferno in a matter of seconds. Despite the chaos, the crew sprang into action. Flight attendants fought the flames, tried to open emergency exits, and guided terrified passengers toward escape slides. Some exits were blocked or destroyed. Others jammed. Many survivors described the horror of crawling through flames and smoke, stepping over broken bodies and burning debris, just to find an exit. Some passengers were trapped in their seats, unable to move. Others were knocked unconscious. 83 people lost their lives that night. Most died from smoke inhalation or fire. Among the dead were children, elderly travelers, and even members of the cabin crew, who stayed back to help others escape. 96 passengers and crew survived, many with severe burns, broken bones, and lifelong trauma. But those who lived never forgot the terrifying moments when fire lit up the sky and death seemed certain. It wasn't just a crash, it was a war for survival in seconds. In the aftermath, Singapore Airlines and the Taiwanese government launched a full-scale investigation. The world was stunned. One of the safest and most respected airlines had just suffered one of its worst disasters, and it had happened before even leaving the ground. Investigators quickly found the root cause. The plane had taken off from the wrong runway. But the question was, analysis revealed that the pilots had mistaken the closed runway 05L for the active 05R due to poor lighting, bad weather, and misleading airport signage. The closed runway still had illuminated lights, which misled the pilots during their taxi. The air traffic control had given correct instructions, but did not notice the aircraft was on the wrong runway, a shared failure. It was a perfect storm of human error, environmental challenges, and system shortcomings. Singapore Airlines took full responsibility. The airline compensated victims, families, and grounded Flight 006 permanentes. Flight number was never used again. Captain Fung was later dismissed and banned from piloting commercial aircraft. But the real impact went far beyond one airline. Aviation authorities worldwide changed procedures after this crash. New systems were introduced, including runway awareness, warning systems, GPS-based taxi guidance, and better construction markings. Airports improved signage and lighting to avoid similar confusion. More importantly, this tragedy became a case study in aviation safety. It reminded the world that even a few seconds of confusion in aviation can cost dozens of lives. To this day, Flight SQ006 is a sobering reminder of the thin line between routine and catastrophe in the skies. It was a crash that didn't happen in mid or butt before the plane ever left the ground. A crash that could have been prevented, and a crash that changed aviation forever.